Disney Channel.
What's this podcast called?
Sepsis from Planet Weird.
Podcast from Planet Weird.
Oh.
Luck of the Irish. More like freak me in the eyeballs.
I love this movie.
No!
I told you not to bring up prom in this
you want
episode.
to talk about prom, mama? Dramacaflama, baby. I was nominated for winner from
God damn it.
King.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 319 of Podcast from Planet Weird. And are you thinking, maybe I'm actually not going to listen to this. Maybe I'm just going to shut this off. But let me tell you, you're going nowhere.
Oh, shit.
We got you for 60 minutes.
Oh,
And
shit,
most
it's
likely
Bonesaw.
60
Bonesaw's
minutes
in the
of
house.
playtime.
Ew.
That's
Well,
right, I'm Bonesaw.
That's a good amount of time.
And my co-host here, the human spider,
You said my name wrong.
are here to talk about one of the most important films in cinematic history. It's Sam Raimi's Spider-Man from 2002.
Womp, 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 womp.
Because it's Spider-Man September. A month that we made up
Spider-Man-tember.
because we
Because we
didn't want
can
to
choose to.
We just didn't want to choose between Pokemon. We didn't want to choose between Slowpoke September or Spider-Man September. So why not combine them?
Listen, it's our podcast. We can do whatever the hell we want with it.
Yeah.
You're just
speaking
listening.
of which, oh shoot, let me put on my visual effect.
No,
Forgot
let's
to do
keep your background.
No, because this is important. I did this just for you. Oh.
I hate her so much.
If you are a patron and you can see on YouTube, I got Kiki behind me. I got the queen herself, Mary Jane Watson, and we'll talk about that iconic scene, that iconic moment in a minute. Anyways, yeah, nothing really to say.
There, that's it. We're starting Spider-Man-tember. You better buckle up, Buster, because we're about to swing you on a set on a plastic doll. It's gonna look fake as fuck, but we're gonna make millions.
I was gonna say, like, oh, let's catch up, but like we already caught up really in the Patreon episode. So go listen to that, everyone, if you want to hear us catch up on things.
There's nothing to catch up on. Our lives are the same.
They have remained the same. All right, away we go. Let's talk about Spider-Man. Did you see my shirt too?
Yeah, Kirsten Dunst. I tried to read it, but I was like, I don't know what that says.
Kirsten Dunst. Hello, the star of this film. This was her movie. Toby was also there. All right. Spider-Man Spider-Man is a 2002 American superhero film based on the Marvel Comics character Spider-Man. Ever heard of him? Read a book.
No. Well.
Directed by Sam Raimi from a screenplay by David Coep. Let's say it's Coep. It's the first installment in Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy. The film stars Tobey Maguire, Willem Dafoe, Kirsten Dunst, James Franco, Cliff Robertson, and Rosemary Harris.
Listen, this is before the age where James Franco became so annoying.
Before he was messaging teens.
What?
Instagram. You don't remember that?
No.
Oh my god. Oh my god. The story follows a timid teenager named Peter Parker who gains superhuman abilities after being bitten by a genetically engineered spider. Don't you hate when that happens?
I hate when that happens, especially because...
Especially because why?
There's been a lot of spiders in my room. A lot of spiders will be living here. A lot of spiders
A
will be
lot of
living.
spiders will be scared here. He adopts the masked persona Spider-Man and begins to fight crime in New York City, facing the malevolent Green Goblin in the process.
Well,
Sorry,
that's a lie.
let me move so you can see Kirsten. So you can see Mary Jane going, hey, you see this? You see this?
That's a fucking lie because he didn't name himself Spider-Man. He named himself the Human Spider.
Well, he adopts the persona of Spider-Man from Bruce Campbell, who plays a different character in all 3 films.
Hell
We
yeah.
love that. So this movie was directed by Sam Raimi. He is the man behind the Evil Dead franchise. You know, there was Evil Dead. There was Evil Dead 2. And then there was Army of Darkness. They said, now let's do a silly one.
Let's make now a silly one.
now let's do a silly one.
And that's why Bruce Campbell stays in business, because of Sam Raimi.
Yeah. And then he later went on to direct movies like Drag Me to Hell.
Scary.
The Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness movie, and a movie
Wrong.
I just forgot about until now. Oz the Great and Powerful.
He really directed some things there, I guess. Wait, he did not direct Multiverse. Nope, he didn't direct Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah, he did.
I thought he didn't. I thought the whole thing with that movie was like he originally was, and then he was like, then they were like, no, you can't make it that scary, and he's like, okay, then I'm backing out.
He directed Multiverse of Madness. Maybe like, is it one of those things where like he didn't really get to do a lot, like someone else kind of took over, but he's credited? I don't know, but I remember that was a big thing of like everyone's like, oh, he's coming back to like do a superhero movie, and we all love Spider-Man, so like maybe this is going to be incredible.
I can't remember if he was like, something happened with the directors or the writers in that movie where something did not click. I just remember that.
Okay. And I'll believe it. Anyways, this movie, written by David Coep, who also wrote Jurassic Park and The Lost World Jurassic Park.
Oh, the second one.
Indiana Jones in the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Oh, the best one.
Everyone's favorite. And then went on to do like other movies, you know. Yeah, and this movie came out May 3rd. Hello, 2002.
On my birthday. Happy birthday, 7-year-old Juan.
That was for you, sweetie. The budget was $139 million. What do you think the box office was?
457.
Correct. It was 831.2 million. I mean,
Okay.
It did pretty fucking good, right?
It did way better than I was already giving it a lot of credit, and it got more. So.
Oh no, this
Triple
was
A
the
plus.
talk of the town. Like I was telling you, I went to like, you know, write down all the bullet points of the production. But there's not much to say because they kind of like in this first sentence here on Wikipedia, it says development of a live-action Spider-Man film began in 1975, but stalled for nearly 25 years due to licensing and financial issues. So there's probably a lot of like stuff that happened in those years.
In the comic book world, yes, because this is when Marvel was going bankrupt, so they were selling like the film and TV rights to other heroes, which is how Sony acquired Fantastic, I believe, and Spider-Man, and then that's how Fox acquired X-Men specifically, I think.
Just the X-Men.
And literally just the X-Men.
Well, since you bring up X-Men, this really was like X-Men came out and everyone's like, oh, cool, like superhero movies. Because all we really had before was like the Batman and Superman stuff from, you know, the olden times.
The 80s.
Yeah, and then like the Batmans, they got worse and worse and worse, and so everyone was like, "What are superhero movies going to look like now?" And X-Men, it's like, "Oh, okay, these first two are doing pretty good. They look good. We won't talk about the third one." But so it was like, okay, maybe the Spider-Man movie will be good,
And it sure did.
Eventually in 99, Columbia Pictures licensed the project, and then they hired the writer, and then Sam Raimi got on board, and they got Danny Elfman. They said, we need a spooky little bitch to put some songs in here, so they got him.
Danny Elfman really just cornered the market. Cornered it.
The movie, when it came out, it received positive reviews from critics and audiences who praised Sam Raimi's direction, the story, the performances, visual effects, action sequences, and musical score. Okay, so like everything. What else is there?
They kind of praised.
I guess the dialogue.
Well, flop. I'm a bit of a scientist myself.
Well, not the biggest flop, but we'll talk. We'll talk about some things, and we'll talk about the hundreds of memes that have been born from this movie. It became the third highest grossing film of 2002, the highest grossing superhero film, and the sixth highest grossing film overall at the time of release.
What the hell?
It got nominations for Best Sound and Best Visual Effects at the Oscars. It was genre and the summer blockbuster. And then obviously there were two sequels, Spider-Man 2 and Spider-Man Trey.
Why? Oh. My name's Trey.
I got Shoe Game. But yeah. Rod Ebert.
My man.
Of the Chicago Sun-Times. Do you know what he said?
He loved this.
He said, I fucking hate that scene where he has to decide between choosing the cable car of children and Mary Jane.
Does he? Did he really?
He said the visuals could have given an impression of the enormous weights and tensions involved, but instead the scene seems more like a bloodless storyboard.
Wow. The way that I flip-flop between loving this man and absolutely being like, what's wrong with you is insane. Roger Ebert, literally, rest his soul, whatever, but like crazy person. Crazy person. A lot of people will be saying shit here. A lot of people.
It is a little basic of like, who are you, like, it's that classic question of like, who would you say, like you're like someone in your family, like you can save one person in your family or you can save 20 strangers. Who are you gonna save? Like it's like one of those scenarios. So I get that.
Well, it depends on the family member.
Creative. I mean, but
like if
so
it's,
I get what
if
saying,
it's
but
if it's one of the family members who's like, a doctor on the verge of like discovering something, I'm choosing the family. But if it's just like the cousin who everyone thinks is a bum, see you later, alligator.
Oop.
And I'm going to say that straight to your face, cousin.
Cousin Roberto.
I don't have one.
On IMDb, who are very reputable and, they're a checked source. They vet all of their trivia.
Fact checked over.
Okay, Tobey Maguire said he had never read a Spider-Man comic book, but took the role because he liked the script.
That's valid.
But all those fucking fanboys were like, how dare he?
I can't believe he's never read a Spider-Man comic. Well, listen, baby, no one has the time to read a book, period. Who says they have a time to read a picture book?
A picture book. This is the thing we always talk about. In the wake of the terror attacks on... let me do one again where I'm not laughing. Sorry, I was laughing because I got a text that was about the presidential debate.
No. Oh, I thought you were going to say the 9/11 terrorists.
No. Okay.
Speaking of, that's tomorrow.
In the wake of the terror attacks on September 11, 2001, Sony recalled teaser posters which showed a close-up of Spider-Man's face with the New York skyline, including prominently the World Trade Center towers, reflected in his eyes. Not all the posters were recovered, however, and ones still at large are now highly prized collector's items.
I need to find it. It needs to be mine.
Bonesaw is played by Macho Man Randy Savage.
What the fuck? No.
I've heard of that man several
But I've never
times,
seen
but
his
I've never seen what he looks like. And he's dead? Oh my god, rest in peace.
Let's wait. Is it
Wow.
really Macho Man Randy Savage? I have to look
IMDb
this up
wouldn't lie
now.
to me.
You don't know that.
They would not lie.
Macho Man.
Spider-Man's webbing in the film is made out of foam materials and fishing line. It's also enhanced with CGI.
Well, duh. It is Macho Man Randy Savage.
Wow, a star.
Wow, I like his arms.
We did not know that. Okay, anyways, what's your history with this film?
I used to own this on VHS cassette. And ooh, sorry, I'm looking at pictures of Macho Man Randy Savage, and he was hot. I used to own this on VHS growing up. And I also owned Spider-Man 3. Surprisingly, the movie that I didn't own, Spider-Man 2.
The best one.
Which is like a very much a curse for me at this point. Like, I either own like the first one or the last one, but never the second one. Like, I'm pretty sure I also owned no, I did. I owned Return of I owned the Star Wars Episode 1, Phantom Menace, and then I think I owned the Revenge of the Sith, but I never owned Attack of the Clones.
Wow. Well, a lot of people think that's the worst one, so.
I like Attack of the Clones.
I do too, and you know that. Everyone go listen to our commentary on the prequels. Yeah.
Yeah, but I used to own this on VHS, and I would watch it a lot. And I loved the scene where Mary Jane Watson goes,
Yes. If anyone wants to go through our Instagram stories and our highlights, I think it's in our BTS highlights. There's the video of you watching the clip and laughing hysterically at it. So but we'll get there.
also, I forgot to mention this little exciting tidbit. The VHS cassette that I had for Spider-Man 1 was in Spanish.
Oh,
So I owned
Where's
the
the
Spanish
pesto?
version. I owned the Spanish version of Spider-Man 1 on VHS cassette at some point.
Wow. What's the
Have you
title
ever
in Espanol?
Spider-Man?
It's not like Hombre.
El Hombre Araña?
Yeah.
I think it might be, but that's not what it said on the title. They didn't alter the title.
Yeah.
But I think it did say El Hombre Araña at the start.
So if you were gonna sing the theme song, it'd be El Hombre Araña.
Don't try me because I have no idea.
El Hombre Araña.
Yeah, but okay, so oddly enough, now that we're here, little tangent. I owned this and The Lion King in Spanish. So growing up, I only knew these two movies in Spanish. So if you can imagine people talking to me about this movie, I'd be like, yeah, I love it when Spider-Man says, hola, mi nombre es Dora. And people are like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm.
I only knew the Spanish versions growing up, which is crazy.
That's fun. They always maybe I was out sick these days, but in my Spanish class in middle school, I would always hear about classes watching movies in Spanish, but I don't think that ever happened for me.
That was never mine.
I didn't get to experience cinema in Espanol.
You didn't get to experience El Hombre Araña.
No. Um, for me, I had this movie on DVD, not to VHS. It was actually like one of the earlier, like maybe one of the first DVDs I had. I
Rich.
remember, no, it was a gift from, I think maybe like our parents' friends, and they gave us the Spider-Man DVD and oddly enough, Attack of the Clones.
So
I, be- I
okay,
believe
wild.
I believe if my memory is correct. And I think my brother had claimed Attack of the
Attack of the
Clones.
Clones.
And so I Spider-Man was technically mine, even though like obviously that we're all in the same house, like we can use them. But Spider-Man used to scare me. Like I had because I was a Star Wars fan, I had like Toys R Us, remember her? I had like
Rest
a
in peace.
cutout ad of like Attack of the Clones poster thing, like on my bulletin board. And sometimes, because it was just attached with like one pin at the top, sometimes when my fan was on and it would get windy, you could see the back and it was Spider-Man and I'd get scared. I'd get so scared. But then I conquered my fear and like I watched the movie and I was like, oh my God, I love this. And it became just one of my favorite movies as a kid. And then in second grade, which I guess was 2002, I dressed up as Spider-Man for Halloween.
Wow.
And we didn't know I was non-binary. We
Roll
didn't
the
know something
footage.
was going on.
Put the
I know
picture.
I haven't been able to find any photos, but like I wish we could
You have
because
2 days.
that truly was one of the first like experiences of feeling like gender euphoria, no joke.
You're wild.
No, because like I couldn't wear my ponytail obviously because it's Spider-Man. You can't have like a big chunk coming
Mm-hmm.
out like it's a tumor in the back of his head. So I would have to wear my hair down, but like, just like kind of hide it in the mask. And it was just so freeing to be Spider-Man, to be El Hombre for once.
Wow, that's
Um,
crazy.
but yeah, so this one was always on repeat in my house. Loved it. And then I mean, we love all of them, don't we? I think second one is genuinely one of my favorite movies of all time. And the
I think
third
it's
one,
arguably one of the better like superhero movies. Period.
and I remember seeing that one in theaters and the third one. But the third one, like, I know people like to hate on it. Like, I still think it's fine. Like, I think it's a good movie, and I don't blame Sam Raimi for it because like the reason it's all like shoehorned and there's like three villains and everything that was like all Sony. So I don't blame
Yeah.
him.
As much as I love Sony and I'm a little simp because I do own PlayStation products, um, I do think Sony's a fucked up mess when it comes to their movies. So
And
I'll say
then
it.
previous to this, like I didn't read the comments. I didn't read the comics because we were 7 when this came out. But I did watch Spider-Man on Fox Kids, that like 1999 I think
Yes.
version, and I had a coloring book of that, and I
Where
would
Mary
flip the
Jane
page real
goes
fast
missing.
because Venom was there, and I'd flip it so fast I got so scared. But so that was like my only experience with Spider-Man prior to this movie, I think.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah,
Did you know anything?
I loved Spider-Man growing up. I don't know how the connection was there, but I would somehow end up getting Spider-Man puzzles for my like birthday or Christmas, and so like my mom and I would used to do them together, and then when we would finish them, we would glue them on a piece of cardboard.
Love
So we
that.
would just because like when you finish a puzzle, what are you gonna do? Just put it back in the box?
Yeah, that's what I've done. But like I did always envy the people that would like glue them together and or like frame them.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, then you can look at your work
Well,
and
because then it's
see.
like, are you gonna really pull that puzzle out and do it again?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a puzzle's a one and done.
Yeah.
Like you should just do the puzzle, put it like glue it to like a piece of cardboard or thin card or wood, and frame it.
Well, let's jump into the movie. And I first of all want to talk about what the fuck ever happened to credits like this? Whatever
They
happened to
got two.
fun? Whatever happened to fun credits like this?
We needed to get rid of it because it takes 5 minutes.
No, but I love it. This is
I
what
love it
want.
too, because this is vaguely reminding me of like the X-Men intro as well.
I
Because the
don't
X-Men movies
recall.
did
I
this.
need to rewatch
Well,
the first
or
two.
like Transformers, they would kind of maybe somewhat do that. But I do get it. I like it. I like the whole like opening theme, and I
Oh
like
my
how it
god.
transitions from like the digital effect spider web to like the spider web up on like the little like fire escape. That's cool.
I know we got to focus on this first one, but the credits in the second and third, I think it's the third one when it has like those like color illustrations
Yes.
from previous movies. Oh my god, so beautiful. So beautiful. I want to log just that opening credit sequence on Letterboxd cuz that is a film in itself, god damn it. It's so good. Anyways,
The editors did something there. Good job, editors.
they really did. So we have
Good job,
Peter
post-production.
Parker who is narrating this opening part. He goes, "Who am I? I'm just a fucking loser. Nope, that's not me. That's not me either. There's me running after the bus."
What a loser. And then we got Mary Jane being like, he's been running after us since something something avenue. And the bus driver's like, fine. Because the bus driver's an asshole because he's in on it too.
And yeah, she's like, "That's my future husband, and you're not
That's the
treating me
man.
right."
That's the man who I eventually will fall in love with, will learn to hate, and then will fall in love with again.
That's the man who's gonna accidentally hit me in the third film, and I'm gonna say, "Who are you?"
Who are you? There's also like in the animated series, did you know that she like disappears?
Well, I know the meme of like when she fades away and he like tries to grab her.
Yeah, because she like turns into like the water, like she turns into like a water elemental for whatever reason.
Okay,
She's like
they
a
gave her.
clone.
Oh, okay, so it's kind of like powers. Like, does
Yeah, but
Mary?
it wasn't.
Wait, isn't there? There's a run of comics where she's like Spider Woman or something?
That's Gwen Stacy.
No, isn't there one where she is?
Mary
Producer,
Jane, probably.
producer Anthony, can you look that up for us?
I wish we had a producer.
I swear there is, but I love that when like on Smallville when like Lana got like powers and shit.
hmm
It's like, yes, let's just like let the ladies have fun.
I'm
Let
pretty
them
sure
have
there is like a
power.
run where she is like Spider Woman, but not off the top of my head.
Yeah, well, not in this story. And obviously all these kids look like they're 30, but we're just gonna have to believe it.
They're seniors in high school. It was a different time.
This was the like One Tree Hill OC era where like everyone's 30 in high school and like we just have to. This is Greece. Sandy, where everyone looks fucking 50, but we're gonna believe it.
Why said Junior have a 5 o'clock shadow?
hmm But Peter says this story is all about a girl, the girl next door, and it's this bitch, Mary Jane Watson, played by, not to be biased, but the best actor in cinematic history, Kirsten Dunst.
Well,
Well, yes.
yes.
So Peter's running after the bus. MJ, like you said, tells the driver to stop. When he gets on there, someone trips him.
It's the bus driver.
Someone trips him.
It's the fucking bus driver.
And we find out that this bus that everyone's talking about is going on a field trip to Columbia University. A little science field trip. How convenient.
I'm
How
kind of like
quaint.
shocked at the fact that like these kids are going to a field trip, not even going to school first, but like at the jump, they're gonna meet at this place.
Yeah. No, I only like recently connected that of like, okay, it's a school bus and we go straight to the field trip. Like it's all the same day. I think as a kid, I thought it was like a separate day and everything.
No.
But that scene where MJ's waving and he thinks it's to him, but she's waving to her friends behind him. That's so sad.
What a loser.
Relatable. He's a dork. And then we have Harry rolling up in his Rolls Royce car.
Oh my god, his Royal Rolls Royce. And his dad who goes, I'm a bit of a scientist myself.
Yes, we meet Norman, and this is our first meme of several we will discuss that have been birthed. That's been birthed from this one film.
Thank God.
Yes, it is Norman Osborn meeting Peter for the first time, because I guess Harry is like new-ish, because he got kicked out of his public schools or
Harry's
his
just rich.
schools.
Harry's just rich.
Yeah, but they mentioned like he's gotten kicked out of private school, so now he's at this public school.
He's lashing out.
If Harry is Peter, like if they're such good friends, why hasn't he met his dad? Unless it's Harry just knowing that his dad's a creep.
I think it's just Harry being like, I don't want people to know that I'm rich.
Okay, well, yes, Norman says, I'm something of a scientist myself, which has become a meme. People inserting, I'm something of a insert whatever myself.
Well, I just remember when COVID first happened, and like everyone was being like, "No, just do this so you can avoid COVID." And people were like, I'm a bit of a scientist myself.
Of course. Inside the university, we're in like some microscope room where this woman is giving a tour and like explaining all of these spider species that are there, while Peter is getting bullied by Flash and unnamed blonde man.
Unnamed bully 2.
In this movie. Bully number 2. And Mary Jane points out that one of these spiders is missing. And you think she's like, that one's being tested on.
You're with that one?
Oh god, now you're a robot.
No, I'm not. Shut up. Am I really?
Like your audio's gotten a bit, it's like dimmed. If you were a light, you've been dimmed.
Okay, whatever.
Oh, now you're in black and white. Oh, okay. okay.
What the fuck?
But if I created these new super species of spiders, I think we have a 2319. I think I would sound the alarms, lock the doors.
Misha thinks I also wouldn't have them just out in the public eye like this.
Yeah, it seems like she's not something of a scientist herself, you know what I mean? We have the scene we were talking about, incredible moment, Peter asking MJ if he can get some pictures for the school paper. He needs a student in it, and her modeling gig is right here, right now, because she is taking all of these candid photos. Oh, look at me. I'm looking at this pamphlet. I'm looking at this brochure.
Mm-hmm. Would you look at that?
Would you look at that? This is just Kiki being Kiki. Some great work here. Iconic, incredible.
Her face acting alone.
While he's taking these pictures, the spider comes down. How does she not see this giant ass spider?
That spider is so fucking fat. Like, I don't understand how no one would see, like, his hands are right here. Like, literally in his face. And she's just looking at the camera.
It's so large. It's blue and red. Like, I don't understand. And when it drops on the floor, you would see that thing fucking drops at the floor.
You would hear it.
Oh my god. She was too caught up in her modeling. Anyways, we are at Oscorp, where the board of directors is visiting, and we see a glider. So this whole thing is Oscorp is like building stuff for the military. That's right, Norman Osborn, war criminal. Why?
Well, yes.
Why would the military... I mean, I know they do bullshit like this, but why the fuck would they need a supervillain glider and suit that looks like a goblin? Why
because
would the
they're
suit look like that?
With the ears?
Why would it look like that?
To ensue fear in war times.
Just so wild.
It's so crazy.
They want to see what's going on with the human performance enhancers. And Dr. What's his name? Smaug.
Dr. Lecter.
Smurf,
Smog.
something like that. He's like, well, we're not done. There needs to be more testing, blah, blah, blah. And Norman's like, no, they're ready. We're good. And then they say, you need to meet this deadline or we're pulling your funding.
Yes.
And Norman says, oh no.
I have to become a villain now.
We're at Uncle Ben and Aunt May's. We meet them. Uncle Ben has been laid off at the age of 68. This poor man should be able to retire.
Laid off?
He
got
said he was laid
fired?
off. Yes, that's the story.
By what company? What company fired him?
They say
What
he
company
worked in
hired
like
him?
I think he worked in like electricity or something. He mentions it when he's doing the light bulb. And Aunt May's like, "Oh, like you'll find work again." This man should be retiring and like if he needs to get outside, he should be like volunteering somewhere at the library. This man should not be doing work. What? Thanks, George Bush. What happened to the American dream, George Bush? Is George Bush president in this universe?
I think so.
Is that canon?
I mean, if Macy Gray isn't existing, so
Macy Gray. We'll get there. So Peter arrives and he does not feel well because, ooh, girl, he got bit by that spider. And when he goes up there and he's laying on the floor and
he's having hot flashes
of the skull, the spider skeleton, that was me when I had the food poisoning. I swear to fucking God, that was me. That was me. Oh dear God. And he looks so terrible. And at Oscorp, it's Dr. Strom. That's the guy. He's against this. He's against it, but Norman is going to test the performance enhancer stuff on himself. And Dr. Strom is like, no, don't do it, Mary. Don't do it. But Norman does it. He starts seizing.
Don't do it.
Norman, don't fall.
Norman, don't fall.
Norman, don't start seizing. He starts seizing. Those eyes are rolled back. Girl,
he's about to throw up.
It is over. He's got
this
no
little
heart
nerd.
rate.
This little nerd doctor is so scared. He's like, oh God, oh God, oh God.
I would have ran.
And then I would have left also.
I would have left Norman for dead. I'm sorry. If I told you not to do that and you got in there and did it, I'm leaving before you choke me and kill me.
I was gonna say because then he jump scares.
Yeah.
He goes,
This movie has a few of those jump scares, let me tell you. And even though I've seen this so many times, some of them still got me.
Damn.
Some of them still got me. So yes, he wakes up and he throws Dr. Strom through a window. And then we see Peter waking up in the morning and oh no, he's hot.
Oh shit. Oh fuck. He's muscular. He's a twunk. Oh shit. Oh fuck. His eyesight's so good. Oh Lord.
He doesn't need his glasses. He's buff. And I only started...
Does he check his dong?
Yeah, so obviously I never got that as a kid, but in the more recent years, people have pointed out that's a dick joke. Is that true? I need the writer or Sam Raimi or someone to or Tobey Maguire to say that that's what it was. Because as a kid, I just thought he was looking at his whole body, his abs.
Me too. But then I watched it and I was like, is he seeing if his cock got bigger?
Yeah, this is like a Shrek. Is that really Lord Farquaad's boner or not? Type of thing. What's real and what's not. You don't know about that?
He's laying in bed?
Yeah.
That's his little feet.
Okay.
Anyway. He's got tiny little legs. How far do you think he's going to go?
Okay, anyways, we have him watching MJ through the window. Creepy. And then he is walking to school. He's walking behind her and he's thinking about what he would say to her. But he doesn't get to go up and talk to her because she gets a ride from her friends. And then the school bus just whoosh whizzes by.
And he realizes, oh no, she'll only talk to... Because, wait, is it now or later on when she sees Flash in his car, and she like gets in his car and runs away with him.
That's later. This girl will get in anybody's car, though.
Girl, stop getting in strangers' car. She's gonna be that girl that goes missing because she got into that cop car or whatever.
Well, apparently she does go missing because she becomes the wind or whatever you said.
Oh yeah, in the animated series.
She also jumps off a building to see if Peter could be trusted. I needed to know that you'd always be there for me.
I would have been
Girl,
like, I'm never doing this again.
What was the backup plan, girl? You
Die.
really put your whole faith in him. Oh god.
No parachute, no rope.
And then we have the school bus driving by, and as he goes to bang on the bus, his hand starts sticking to the banner. Sticky hands. Okay.
Sticky hands, sticky hands.
Icky sticky. We're at Harry's house. Norman is asleep on the floor, and Harry wakes him up, and he's like, "What? I don't remember." And jump scare again. We have that flash of what happened in the lab. And he's like, "I don't remember what happened." And then someone from his company comes in and says, "Girl, he's dead. Dr. Strom is dead. And the
Dr.
suit and the
Lecter.
glider are stolen."
Somebody robbed.
Somebody bling.
Don't they have cameras?
You would
Do
think.
they not have cameras?
Maybe Norman as the goblin took him out.
Wow. Noblin.
In the cafeteria, we have the spider sense helping MJ from falling when she slips.
Whoa, good reflexes.
Yes, and you can tell that that's practical effects. I know that's like that is one trivia fact that I do know, is that they did that so many times so they could get it right, of Toby catching all of the food on the tray.
Is it magnetized?
I don't know.
Because that shit looks
I couldn't tell
crazy.
you that. All I can tell you is that one time in the ASU MU in Pitchforks, I slipped on a pickle, and it was just like this. It was just like this moment.
Did somebody catch you and catch all your food?
No, I was able to catch myself and catch my fall, but I was like, who the fuck left a pickle slice on this floor? I could have broken my neck. I swear to Christ. And then she's like, whoa, you have blue eyes. I didn't notice because of your ugly glasses before. And then he just smiles and stares at her, and she says, yay. Okay,
You were so ugly. I didn't want to look at your eyes.
Excuse me, you were very ugly, but now you're hot, ? And we have the web on the fork. His fork is sticking to him, and then he accidentally shoots a web and does the tray, and hits Flash, and then girl, we're about to have a brawl in the hall.
The brawl in the hall.
Yes. By the way, and then we have what's his name? Joe Manganiello playing Flash. And then he went on to be like in True Blood and One Tree Hill and Magic Mike. So
really?
Yeah, this was one of his like earlier things.
Who's Joe Manganiello? Is he the really hot one?
He's the one who plays Flash. And now he has like, if you look him up now, I think he has like a beard.
Joe Manganiello.
He used to date.
Oh!
I don't think he's still dating her. He used to date Sofia Vergara.
Yeah, the hot one for Magic Mike.
Sure.
Oh, he does stuff for me.
And so we have the fight versus Flash in the hallway. Peter's using his spider sense. That close up on the fly is not needed, and I don't care for it. I'll say that.
It's actually sick and twisted. You're right.
It's actually disgusting. But we have Peter winning and running away, and everyone is confused and disgusted by his strength. MJ's looking
I think it's
at
so
him
funny.
like MJ's looking at him confused, like, wait,
What
you're
the
hot,
fuck?
but also scary?
And Mike turned on or frightened.
I can't
I love the
tell.
fact that the second bully was like, damn, Peter, you are a freak. Like, instead of being like, holy shit, what the fuck? He was like, yeah, you are weird.
Like
you just try to
Flash
beat his
started
ass.
That fight. Flash started that fight. Girl, if you don't want to get a broken arm, don't start a fight.
Don't
Sorry.
fuck. What is that thing from Ava?
From
Not Ava. Not Ava Elementary. What the fuck is Abbott?
Abbott Elementary. It
Where
is kind
Ava,
of Ava's Elementary,
it
isn't it?
really is. When Ava goes, the secret to not getting your ass beat, knowing when somebody can beat your ass,
Exactly. Like,
and they just did not
sorry, bro.
know.
You thought, oh, he's this little wimp, little four eyes bitch. Well, guess what, bitch? The glasses are gone, and he came to play.
Mm-mm.
So when we were in the alley, he has those spiky things on his fingers. What are those supposed to be?
It's like so the way spiders actually cling onto objects or insects do in general is they have like these little like
Sticky things.
not sticky things, but like these essentially what it looks like in the movie, like those little prongs. Like they have little prongs on their like feet that help them
Disgusting.
like grip onto things, basically. And because they have low mass density, like they don't have bones to weigh them down the way we do, like they can actually like defy gravity in that way too. That's why birds can fly because their bones are hollow.
Cindy, they don't have bones?
No, remember they're insects. Their bones are on the outside. It's their outside bones.
They're outside bones?
It's like a small
Interesting.
shell that covers their bodies.
Okay, well, this is when he climbs the wall and he's running and jumping over the buildings. This is where the CGI, at the time it was really good, and now it's like, okay, it's a little
A little
dated, isn't it?
crusty, yeah, but
And
it's
then
good.
he tries to, fly across the buildings and shoot the web. He does go web go, doing all the little hand
Shazam!
motions. But girl, watch out for that tree. No, billboard, because he bangs right into it, and he
All I
gets
wanna know
home
is
and he discovers, oh shoot, I forgot to come paint the kitchen with my old ass Uncle Ben,
who got fired.
who got laid off of his job. I'm the worst person in the world.
Literally let him paint the house. He has no job. You literally were at school.
I mean, at least he's not mad. He just says, Michelangelo, there's meatloaf in the oven or whatever.
Yeah. Oh my god, you know what Uncle Ben made me fucking mad? And I remember I think I texted you and Ivy at the same time and I was like, Uncle Ben from the Amazing Spider-Man can suck my ass. He is such a shitty uncle.
Is that the one where it's Martin Sheen?
Yeah.
I think I literally texted that back. Is that Martin Sheen? Because then Ivy said, Martin Sheen, it was President Kennedy, you idiot, from the Goonies.
Yeah. But I was about ready to be mad at Uncle Ben because I was like, another one of these old fuckers that just is like so mean to Peter for no reason. He's like, you didn't walk your Aunt May from the store. She could have been bugged. And Aunt May's like, it was down the street.
Who plays Aunt May in that one?
The lady.
Oh, isn't it Sally Field or someone?
Yeah.
It's Sally Field because when she was asked why she did that, she was like, oh, it was a friend for I did it because of my producer friend who did the film, who like we all knew, like she's old and like this was gonna be one of her last movies, so I did it for her. Basically being like, I know the movie's bad, but like that's why I did it.
He's
For
like, I
my
did it for
dying
my friend.
Yeah. And then anyway, on this like back patio, I guess, because MJ's dad is screaming at her.
It's abusive.
Peter overhears, and it's always hard to figure out her story because like at first I'm like, oh, is her mom just like gone? She left, but then later they say the mom is there. So the poor mom and her are just living in this house with this man.
With its abusive father, yes. Well, yes.
Sad. Yes, interesting. And of course, in this one, it's like they've been neighbors since they were little. I know in the comics, she like shows up one day. And it's
Sure, I don't
face
know.
it, Tiger, you just hit the jackpot.
Ooh. I don't understand how they're like not closer friends if they've been living next to each other for years.
Yeah, you would think. Probably because he was saying creepy shit like, is that an angel?
Is that an angel?
And she's like, ew, you have asthma or something. I don't know. Ew, you're creepy. But yeah, so they talk out there. She's like, you freaked us out. And he's like, I'm sorry. I punched Flash and broke his arm. I'm sorry. And they talk about graduation plans. I do love Danny Elfman did pop off with this one the like I don't know if it's called the Peter and MJ theme, but just it happens whenever they're together, the music in the back. I love a good theme of two characters when you hear it together. It's like
Mm-hmm.
Han and Leia in Star Wars when you hear that same part and you're like, yes! We all
Literally
want to
never pay
party with
attention to music
Aretha.
cues.
Really? You as someone who like knows a lot about music?
Yeah, I never listen to music cues. I just let them
Moving
take
on.
me. I let them
Okay.
take me to another universe.
And then they have that moment where she says, "You're taller than you look." And he says, "I hunch." And she says, "Don't." And then gets in the car with Flash.
She is wet. At that very moment, she is wet. She said, I love a man who is 5'11". Isn't Tobey Maguire short as shit?
Probably. I don't know. I had a dream
Looking this
once
up.
that I met him and he was very kind. So
I
I'll
would
say
believe
that.
it.
I'll say that. So yes, he's like, "Oh God, I need a car if I want to get this girl." So he starts looking through the paper for car deals. And the prices of these cars, is it just because they're like used cars in
One of them is like
2002?
$4,000.
I'm like, what is this? What are these deals? A car for $4,000? Girl, I'll
I
take it.
could simply not believe.
So he finds an ad for an amateur wrestling event where you can get $3,000 as the prize, and he's coming
It's
up with
literally right below the
costume
car ads.
ideas. How convenient. He comes up with costume ideas. I think aren't some of these like references to other comic characters?
There are references to his like old comic costumes and like other like possibly other characters. He's 5'8".
So we're supposed thank you. So we're supposed to believe that this nerd is also good at art. You
I was
can't be
about to
both.
say I
You
was
can't be
about to
both.
say you can't be smart and talented. That's unfair. Me.
And now
Um
hot.
and now I'm getting hot. So what's up? Oh my
You
god, am I
can't be
going
a
through my Tobey
complete
Maguire glow up? My
Are you
Tobey
gonna look
Maguire
at your
Spider-Man
penis
glow
and
up?
say big change? Big change.
So his cock and balls did get bigger. Got it. Men
Are,
everywhere are gonna want to
is
get
that
bit
what
by
we're supposed
spiders.
to believe? As someone who does not have a penis, I don't know. Is it supposed to be like how much does your like muscle and stuff like affect that? Does anybody know?
None. None.
Okay, so why would he say big change?
I think
Unless like
because
unless there's something in the spider that would cause him to like grow in his groin area.
listen,
The
this
scientists are like, we combined all of these different skills, these different features of all these different spiders, and we gave him Viagra. Like we just gave that as well. We fed the spider Viagra
and
just as
now
a
it can make cock and balls huge.
bonus.
Oh my
Okay.
god.
I don't know if this is supposed to be the next day or what, but
It
we have
doesn't matter.
Norman hearing an evil laugh in his home.
He's delusional.
You ever have those moments
Yeah,
where you
actually.
I do love the meme of like it's just like a Twitter meme of like this calling to me like the Green Goblin mask.
Hmm.
Like it'll just be like or like this, you know, this like bowl of soup calling to me like the Green Goblin mask or something, just like giving inanimate objects like they're saying, "Yes, yes, you need this. We
Is this
yeah.
on Twitter? I haven't been on it in a long time.
Yeah. In general, it's just like a Twitter thing of misery, like imagine a bowl of soup saying misery, misery, misery.
Me as I'm eating it.
In spite of everything you've done for them, eventually they will hate you.
Well,
Anyways, we also have Peter going to the library, quote unquote, and getting
and
dropped
here
off by
comes
Uncle Ben.
Uncle Ben being a fucking bitch.
This bitch wouldn't have died if
Oh,
he just stayed home and
I love
painted
that
the
he goes.
house.
I love that he goes. no, Peter, let me drive you. I need the exercise anyways. I'm like, you're
You're the
driving
car. Yeah.
in New York City, where you can get places faster when walking or taking the subway.
Yeah, why don't you
Take
save the
let
environment, Ben?
let this man ride the fuck ass train, bro. Like,
Did you go to
oh
Queens? Did you go to Queens? Did you see King of Queens? Because that's where Peter is from, is Queens.
no, I didn't go to that broke ass part of the city. Ew.
Oh, okay. You. So Uncle Ben is saying Peter is acting different. He says, I went through exactly what you've been through. And Peter's like, no, the fuck you haven't.
Have you been? Did you get a big dick and balls with the spider bite, Uncle Ben?
I don't fucking think so. And we have the iconic line, with great power comes great responsibility. Now, is that just from this movie or is it from the comics?
It's from the comics, but the actually Spider-Man No Way Home got it correct because the original version of the comics, I guess, is with great power comes even greater responsibility. So it's like a word difference or a 2-word difference, but pretty much it's from the
Okay.
comics.
So do you think this actor just like kind of fucked it up and Sam Raimi was like, it's good enough?
Probably, or they were like, yeah, that's kind of stupid.
Good enough. And he says, like, I know I'm not your father. And then Peter
Well,
says,
good.
"Then
Stop trying to
stop
be.
pretending to be." And that's the last thing he says. It's just him yelling at him. And it's like, oh shit.
I don't. As much as I don't understand why Uncle Ben is doing all of this nonsense, I don't understand why like Peter's so mad at him.
Yeah.
Like there is
He's
no
just
build
trying
up
to
to.
help.
I would understand if the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man said this to the other Uncle Ben because he deserved it, but
Because
like
you hate him.
because I hate Uncle Ben in that one. But not this one. I mean, I also don't like being cornered in that way. The fact that he's like, "Let me drive you, so I can corner you
Mm-hmm.
and talk to you about how I just don't call me, don't come by my
Where's
house."
John?
Like literally, like what is this melodrama? Shut the fuck up. He's over here like, we just don't know you anymore, Peter. You're different. He's hot. He's hot, and his boner is 17 inches long now. Okay, he's changing.
So obviously Peter is not going to the library. He's going to the wrestling event where we see Octavia Spencer.
And her Academy
Critically
Award-winning,
acclaimed.
critically acclaimed Ma Octavia Spencer.
Don't make me drink alone.
Don't make
Yes,
me
there
drink
she
alone.
is. This was pre-Ma. This was before she got that cut, that bob.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, so
That fuck ass Bob.
she's the one signing in the people for the event, and she says, "May God be with you." She said, "This skinny bitch."
You're about to get snapped in half by Macho Man Randy Savage.
Mm-hmm.
Bonesaw!
We have Bruce Campbell as the MC of the event, and he is the one who coins Spider-Man, because he said that's a bullshit name, the Human Spider.
He's like, that's my name. I love it when he's like, no, I'm not going out there. He got my name wrong. I'm like, just go, you little fucking twink.
When they push
Ew.
him, and then all those women in leather, they're so scary.
I love how they're degrading him.
I know, that always scared me as a kid.
I kind of
Like,
liked it.
I'm always yelling. I'm like, oh god.
I wanted to be them so bad, just being like, you think you're so tough? Fuck your shit, bitch. You about to get wrecked. Bonesaws about to snap your leg in half. Your big dick can't save you from this, bitch.
Oh my god. We have
I'm
the cage coming down.
His cock is massive.
We have the cage coming down for this event, and I love that one actor who just yells, "Cage!" They gave him one line, and he really did
Committed
something
to
with it, because I will always remember him just yelling, "Cage!"
You know, the people
So
on the set
excited.
that were with him were like, yes, yes.
Yes.
You really gave it your all.
And then we have 3 minutes of playtime with Bonesaw.
Ooh.
3 minutes of playtime.
I would kill for 3 minutes of playtime with Bonesaw.
Out of
3 minutes.
nowhere, why? I get that it's 2002. I get that Peter's in high school. Why out of nowhere is Peter homophobic?
Oh, yes! What did he say? What does he say? Like something about like, are you gonna go
He
take
says,
us to your
"Cute
husband?"
outfit. Did your husband give it to you?" I'm like,
I would have beat his ass right then and there.
and I'm like, so what if Bonesaw has a husband, Peter? You don't
Let
have
him and his.
anybody.
He has his big dick
All you have is your big dick and
and your huge balls.
your big dick and your fucking foam and fish line web. Jesus Christ. But Peter ends up winning, obviously. And so everyone's chanting for Spider-Man in his stupid, like, sweatpants outfit.
I love the
Did
fact
he
that he
get
did
that
all these like
direct to garment printed?
DTG. He got a DTG of his spider
DTG
suit.
sweatshirt. They could have made it look like spray painted or something, but no, it looks like he straight up just like got it printed direct to garment. Wow. He ordered it off TeePublic. That's incredible.
Hell yeah.
So he goes to get the money, and that guy gives him $100 because he didn't do the full 3 minutes. So he says, "So you don't get the 3,000."
I would have gave him at least 2,000. He's like, the ad said 3. You knocked him out in 2, and it's like, okay, then give him 2.
And then we have his iconic line that I always like to say, which is, "I missed the part where that's my problem." And then we have the robber taking his money and Peter letting him through the elevator.
And then
when
Peter
the guy says,
saying,
"That guy took off with my money. You could have broken him in half." And
I
yes,
missed
Peter
the part where
says,
that's my problem.
"Ooh, an eye for an eye." And you know what, bitch, Peter, that's gonna make you blind.
And Peter, you're about to get shot in both eyes.
Because that robber, of course, ends up going and carjacking Uncle Ben and shooting him.
Why is Uncle Ben still there? Uncle Ben was supposed to go home, but he tried to follow Peter to the battle.
How did you feel about, I mean, obviously we're jumping to Spider-Man 3, but it does flash back to this part where Sandman is all of a sudden like, "That was me. I was there. Like, he was my partner."
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you feel about that? Like that, like retconning of it a little bit.
I was just kind of like, okay, sure.
I
Sure,
was
yeah,
like,
whatever.
okay. Like, why? I don't
Like,
think
okay.
it really was necessary.
I literally was just like, okay, sure.
It was just like, all right. By the way, worst fucking thing, if I'm a villain, I'm fucking pissed if I become fucking sand. If I become a bunch of grains of sand and that's how I fly around, like,
You're
I feel
just a
bad.
sand. You're a haboob. You are
Like, that
Daruda Sandstorm.
That sucks for him. He's just like on the set of Dune, not getting paid. You know what I mean?
Sorry. No, that's wrong too.
It's noise gated, anyways.
Oh shit.
So yes, we find Uncle Ben on the floor, on the ground outside by the library.
Literally dying because he was being Snoopy.
Because he was being Snoopy, Charlie Brown's dog. Because he was dressed up as Snoopy.
He was that Snoopy in Times Square that would not leave you alone.
But we do have another meme here, which is Peter crying. This is also a big meme. It's Tobey Maguire's crying face during this scene. And he says, "Peter," and then he dies. Very sad.
That's what he... the fact... Like, Bruce Willis... Bruce Wayne's parents' death is like iconic, right? Because it's coming from the theater, blah, 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 whatever. We don't need to see that all the time. But it's like, okay, cool, they got mugged. Uncle Ben was just literally in the way. Like, Uncle Ben was being literally just, why are you here? He is only dead because he's trying to be altruistic or whatever. Like,
yeah, because he was trying to help Peter. He's concerned about him. But then in the flashback in the third movie, we find out that it's him saying, "You don't want to do this," to Sandman, who's about to carjack him.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
It's like, girl, just move. Just move.
Just give him
Get your pride out of the way.
Give him the car and go. Like, you're trying to be over here like, God, I swear to God, Uncle Ben is like a we can go to church and like we can like work this out. He's that kind of guy. I know he is because he seems that way. So annoying.
Well, now he
Old
doesn't
ass
seem
man.
anyway because he's dead. So over the police, radios, we hear that the shooter is headed south on 5th Avenue. So of course Peter is going to go
Saks?
after him. He's going to Saks Fifth Avenue for a little shopping spree. So
The
this is
CGI
the
here
first
looks kind of good.
this is the first time we see him like swinging properly
Yeah.
throughout the city.
It gets a little Polar Expressy
Mhm.
the way the CGI looks, but it still looks really good.
Hot, hot, hot. We got it. We get to an abandoned building. There's a few of these in New York, apparently, in this film. Couple abandoned
Buildings.
buildings.
Shit, Square Six of them, the whole abandoned theater?
That's New
I
York.
guess.
That's New York,
That's
baby.
That's New York, baby.
So Peter's able to corner him, and he sees that it's the same guy who robbed the wrestling man and who he let through the elevator. And he's like, oh shit, this is my fault. This was a little butterfly effect, and it has taken a turn. Right?
No, the butterfly effect was Uncle Ben just literally not leaving his grandson alone or whatever.
We all made some choices on this day. And the guy, Peter doesn't kill him.
He falls.
Technically, he falls backwards out the window and dies. I do love, I think it's in the third one, when Mary Jane's talking about that guy. And he like gets defensive about it again. He's like, I didn't kill him, remember? Like, he fell backwards. I told you that. And she's like, whoa.
Whoa.
She's like, I'm not accusing you of killing him. Jesus fucking Christ.
She's like, seems like someone's getting real defensive for something they did not
For
do.
someone who didn't murder someone. And then we see Peter crying on like a gargoyle, one of those like griffin things on the sides of buildings. I don't know.
A gargoyle, yeah.
He comes home and he's crying, or he comes home and Aunt May is crying. Poor woman.
Well,
No, nothing. Nothing about her. No comments on her.
listen, I really don't give a shit because Uncle Ben shouldn't have been altruistic. Uncle Ben should have. If someone has a gun to my head and goes, get out your car, I'm going, yes, sir. Or I'm pressing on the gas pedal and driving away.
Mm-hmm. We're at a military base and they are testing this, again, weird jetpack thing that the military needs for some reason. It's like, not a jetpack, but it's like a whole suit that's gonna go up. Like, it's like a Mega Man fucking
pod.
suit. Like, what's going on?
That's like their Green Goblin alternative. Like,
I guess. But yeah,
baby,
then
that looks bad.
Norman shows up and shoots
Blowed it up
and attacks. So, and then all of a sudden we're graduating. All of a sudden it's Midtown High School's graduation. Harry and Peter get word that they got the apartment in the fall, so that's fun for them. And Norman tells Peter to try and enjoy the day and let him know if he needs anything. I'm something of a altruistic person myself. That's what he said. And we see Harry sees MJ dump Flash, and he says, well, what do we have here? She's not a minor in my Instagram DMs, but she is hot, so I can date her.
No!
Yes, and obviously Harry, that's the whole thing, is like, he knows that Peter is in love with her, and he still goes after her, and later he's like, you didn't make a move, man. How do you feel about that?
He's an asshole.
Harry?
Honestly, Harry Osborn is a bad friend.
Yeah.
I'll say
I don't think anyone would
Harry
fight you on
Osborn
that.
is a bad friend.
Is he the same in the other movies? Because he's
in the second one, well, in Amazing Spider-Man, I think so. Because like he shows up and then he's like, Peter, I need your blood so I can cure this disease my family has called goblinitis or whatever the fuck. and like literally it's some sort of disease. And like he's like, Peter, I know you're Spider-Man, so I need your blood to help me. And Peter's like, no, man, you it's not it. I don't understand what the whole business is there. I think there's just trauma from the lizard or whatever, but like it's a little crazy. And then in the other ones, I don't think there's a Harry Osborn anywhere to be seen.
Yeah. God, they're really just doing anything in those Sony ones, huh?
Kinda.
Well, because wasn't the whole thing like they had to make them to keep the rights, so they just kind of like
Yeah, they had to
it was
keep
like,
like
here we
if
go,
they
just
didn't
get
make
them
another
out.
Spider-Man movie, pretty much. But at least they were like, okay, Marvel, we'll partner with you so we can like, you know, take your clout essentially,
Mm-hmm.
ride that clout train.
At home on that same day, graduation, we have Peter and Aunt May talking about Uncle Ben, and Peter's like, the last thing I said to him was so mean. I said he was smelly and ugly. And she says, he knew you were meant for great things. He knew, he loved you, and he knew you loved him.
She said he knew you weren't kidding, and like you were right, he was stinky and smelly.
Mm-hmm. And then but her saying he knew you were meant for great things is basically the catalyst for Peter sitting down and designing a new suit for Spider-Man because he's a graphic designer, I guess, and
And
somehow gets that suit made.
is a seamstress all as well? Like,
Damn, get him on Drag Race.
do I have to believe that all the Spider-Men know how to sew?
I
3D
guess so.
materials as well, because that web effect is three-dimensional.
And how do you do the eyes? You just like put glass.
That's what Spider-Man in the Andrew Garfield one did. He got like goggles and like punched out the glass.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I know they went more for practicality in that one. Like they made his web shooters instead of this one where it's just like for some reason he can shoot webs from his fucking skin.
They mentioned
Um.
that in the third Sony one where they're like, yours is like in your body? And he's like, yeah, I can just.
Mhm. We have a montage of Peter as Spider-Man trying saving people and catching crooks, and there's different people of New York City talking about him. We have the guy who says he stinks and I don't like him. We have
Mm-hmm.
that girl saying guy with 8 hands sounds hot, and we have that guy singing we could all just give him one big hug. Here
The
comes
subway
the
singer.
Spider-Man.
Good for
Yes,
him.
incredible. And then we're at the Daily Bugle where we meet J. Jonah Jameson, played by none other than J.K. Simmons, perfectly casted in this role. Sorry, not casted, cast. I know casted isn't a word. But he hates Spider-Man and he knows he sells papers, so he's like, all right, let's just like write shit on the front.
I know Spider-Man is a menace.
They're making up stuff. And he puts out an ad for cash for pictures of Spider-Man. So we'll see what
Doing
happens
whatever a spider
there.
can.
Outside of the Moondance Diner, which is a real diner in New York. Did you go there?
No,
Did you go there, Juan? Did you go there?
no.
Um, so Peter talks to MJ, who has just left her shift there, and she's hiding her uniform from him. And it's another meme moment. We have the iconic he said
Oh,
his pronouns are they them.
oh yeah.
That meme where she's yelling and he's just standing there. It's from this scene. Um so Peter finds out that she is working at the diner cuz the American dream is dead. They're not living their dreams like they thought. It's not hot girl summer for them.
She's working late because she's a waitress.
Yes, and he also finds out that MJ and Harry are dating because, of course, Harry didn't say anything.
Harry's a little bastard. I hate him.
And then they're like, "We should catch up. It's good seeing each other." And I do love that he says, "Let's get lunch some evening." which makes no sense.
Hell yeah.
At the apartment, Norman is there on the phone talking to someone. I guess he comes by all the time to inspect the apartment. Peter tells Harry that Dr. Connors fired him for being late. And I'm just bringing that up because Dr. Connors, we meet later, obviously. And, he was originally, there was going to be a Spider-Man 4, and he was going to be the Lizard. And just a bummer for that actor who was about to be the main villain in a Spider-Man movie, and then everything happened.
And then he got canceled.
And then that Sony hack. But we have Peter and Norman talking about how they haven't met Harry's girlfriend, his mysterious girlfriend, whatever. And then Peter sees a Daily Bugle ad for the pictures of Spooderman, and he takes some photos posing while, doing good deeds as Spider-Man. At J. Jonah Jameson's office, he gives him $300 and says he can work freelance. And JJJ is already making those edgy headlines saying, is he a menace or is he good?
Is he a monster or a menace? Well, those are the same thing.
At Oscorp, there's a board meeting, and they say that they're selling the company to Quest Aerospace, and Norman is not allowed to join them in the, what do they call it? Acquisition. They say they need him to resign. They say, you're out, Norman. And he says, do you know how much I sacrificed?
It's literally his company.
You can't have Oscorp without Oz.
Well,
Born.
You can't have Papa John's without Papa.
And Papa's not in the house.
He's no longer in the house.
So now it's the Oscorp Unity Day Festival, which I guess we're supposed to believe has contacted and hired the one
Macy
and only
Grace.
Macy Gray. So she's there singing for some reason. And then we have Harry telling MJ he wants to impress his father. He's like, why didn't you wear this dress? Why did you wear this Asian outfit? Why didn't you wear a black dress?
Okay, telling her what to wear. That's fucked up.
She's like, what the fuck?
Maybe tell her in advance that it's like a black tie event and she has to wear like a black dress. Instead of being like, why did you wear that?
Yeah, we're already getting the sense that like, oh, they're terrible together. And it's not even her fault. It's just him.
Oh no, he's an abuser.
We have Pete's
and I'm
spider
a singer.
We have Pete's spider sense tingling or whatever they call it as he's taking pictures.
Yes.
He feels God in this Chili's tonight, and he feels Green Goblin.
His boner is getting bigger every time the Green Goblin gets near her.
That's what it is. Yes, so then the Green Goblin flies in and throws, I think they're called pumpkin bombs.
Yes.
He throws
the ones that turn them into skeletons and then like
he goes, them. Out, am I? Which is like, okay, way to give away your identity.
If any of them survived, it's game over. We know who you are.
Yeah, they would have known, but they turned into skeletons.
That's the craziest effect.
Moment. Love that.
Because they're just
and then we have that kid just standing there as that balloon and just gonna crush the thing to fall on him.
That kid should have died. Even his mom's literally like 2 feet away and he like was not moving. Get him. Run in there, grab him.
Also another meme is just the scene where like the Green Goblin is like going after Spider-Man, like flying above him, going after him. There is just a meme about the Green Goblin's ass, just because it's like such a tight suit. Yeah, you can just those cheeks are there.
You can put a credit card in there and it would stay.
Very tight suit. So some people have just commented on that, being just talking about his ass there. And then we have Up on that ledge, MJ is, screaming and freaking out, and Spider-Man's able to fuck with the Green Goblin's glider, and he says, like,
See
"We'll
you
meet
later,
again!" Team Rocket's
Spider-Man.
blasting off again.
Literally.
He's able to save Mary Jane and fly her to
And
a rooftop nearby.
but this is when we get the iconic.
The mannequin.
Is that a mannequin?
Is that allowed? What the fuck?
Is that what the fuck? Is that allowed?
Is that allowed? Yes,
Stop.
it is. I didn't notice it until the meme of that came up. Like where people pointed out that it's not
so
moving.
noticeable.
It's once you hear about it, then you're like, well, yes, clearly that is a mannequin.
They literally couldn't have just had Tobey Maguire hold her for like all of 2 minutes.
No. He was too busy trying to run over the paparazzi.
Good for
Have
him.
you seen that video?
Yeah, I have.
Yes, and I would do the same. I'm just
TMZ.
yelling, you have to get out of the road. I can't leave if you're here. Love that.
Get out of the fucking road.
Love it. And then we have her saying, "Who are you?" And him saying, "You know who I am." And immediately, obviously he says, "Your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man." He bounces away. Bye-bye. Immediately she's down bad for this random man.
She wants to S his big fat D in that fucking bush garden, whatever the fuck they landed in. She's down. She's so down bad. It's crazy.
This is also like, you have to suspend your disbelief in most superhero movies about this, but why can't she recognize his voice?
You know who I am.
You know who I am.
Peter.
He talks before that because he says like, "Don't worry, folks. She just needs to use the elevator or something."
Could you recognize my voice if I was wearing like a mask?
I'm sure I could.
Like if you
Because all
couldn't
you'd be
tell,
talking about is Tobey Maguire's big dong in this movie.
Tobey Maguire's fat dick. She's crazy.
I don't know. I just feel like, I feel like most of the time you'd be like, yeah, I know who that is. I guess it's a little better than fucking like Cinderella story when the little bit of her face is covered and he's like, "I don't know who you are."
Who are you? Yeah. Wait a minute. Who are you?
Princeton girl, who are you really? Okay, so Harry calls MJ. He says he's sorry. Harry tells Peter that he's sorry he didn't tell him about MJ, but he's crazy about her. But she's on the phone with him being like, "Wow, he was incredible. And his dong was so big I could see through the suit."
I could feel it while I was riding his mannequin.
Yes. At the Osborn home, we have Norman meeting the Green Goblin in the mirror. Incredible performance by Willem Dafoe. Going back and forth, back and forth. I do that sometimes in the mirror. My two personas come out and have a little chat.
I don't think that's okay, but okay.
Sarah, it goes, "Sarah, it's okay to have another bowl of ice cream. Who's gonna know?" And then I go, "But I'll know." And it goes, "Your mother sucks cocks in hell," or whatever. In The Exorcist. It gets very violent. Anyways, but the whole point of that is Norman starts to remember what happened. He remembers that he killed those people, and he's like, "Oh no.
Oh no, I can't believe I did.
I just wanted everybody to be together for Christmas."
Not the boy worms.
We're at the Daily Bugle. J. Jonah Jameson names the Green Goblin, which it's pretty good. Pretty good name. Straight to the point.
Honestly, as far as we can tell, these superheroes and supervillains can't name shit. They have to rely on other people to do it for them.
I do love that in the cartoons, and I would assume the comics, the Green Goblin looks like he's wearing like a pajama hat.
His little nightcap.
Like he's going to sleep soon. Like he
Yeah.
should be holding a little candle. It's like, okay, Sleepy King. But Peter storms out because he senses the Green Goblin's presence, and the Green Goblin demands to know who takes the pictures of Spider-Man. And then we
Who's
have
taking pictures of Spider-Man?
Sleep when he puts
Oh, with the gas.
Spider-Man to sleep.
When
And
he gives him
wakes up.
gasolina.
He wakes up on a rooftop and he's trying to the Green Goblin is trying to convince Spider-Man to join his side. In spite of everything that you've done for them, eventually they will hate you. So Peter says, you know what? I'm going to think about that. I'll weigh my options. Thank you so much. We have the Daily Bugle headline, Citizens Call for Wall Crawler's Arrest. So already Peter's like, they're already turning on me. They don't like me.
Why?
What's going on? I don't know. Because they think that he's
in cahoots.
involved. Yeah. That it's all a big show.
Well,
Because Green Goblin said a freak like me needs company.
damn.
That was for all my Spider-Man turn off the dark heads out there. In NYC, we have Peter catching MJ after an audition, and she is hyped to see him. If we thought she was down bad for Spider-Man, she's also down bad for Peter Parker because she's like, hey!
Could you imagine the second she finds out that Peter is Spider-Man? She's gonna be sopping.
You know what worked out for her? That the two men that she was in love with happen to be the same person. That doesn't always happen.
No.
I think a lot of people will tell you that doesn't always happen.
A
So
lot
she
of
really
people will be scared.
Yes. But he's offering to buy her dinner, and she's like, I have to go get dinner with Harry, that piece of shit. She's clearly like not happy to go do that.
No, she hates him.
She hates him. And he's like, how's your relationship going?
I don't. What's that thing from 30 Rock? I don't know. What's your face? How's your mom's pill addiction?
Yeah. How's your mom's pill addiction? When all she asked was,
Hey,
Liz,
Liz,
nice telescope. Anyways, that meme's been popping up a lot too. Just because people on Twitter are being like, a lot of you think you're like being bullied and shit, but like a lot of you are just the Liz Lemon meme of, hey Liz, how's it going? I don't know, Lexi, how's your mom's pill addiction?
Yeah, literally.
Anyways, but yeah, so he's like, how's your relationship going? Is he satisfying you? Is his penis big enough? And she's like, why are you so interested? And he's like, I'm not. He said, I'm literally not. And
But my
she's like,
10-incher and I are.
You're not? Why would I be? Why would you be? It's like, okay, girl, come on. Enough.
Just break up with him.
If you guys are gonna hook up, just do it right here on the gross streets of New York because you guys are not being subtle.
No, people can sense it across the street.
Jesus. Speaking of across the street, she says, I gotta run, tiger. Because they had to get a tiger in here in this movie. So she walks off as she, as the rain starts pouring, walks into a very sketchy alley. Why would she be walking over there?
The mothers.
I know Kirsten Dunst has said, like, yeah, she's not, like, very bright. Like, MJ as a character, it's like, why is she going into this dark alley?
Well, yeah, because she's white trash.
Because you're just like your mother. I have to go to school. You're just like your mother.
I have to go to school.
This is just like that time you got lost in the jungle until we rolled an 8.
Oh my god.
That was a little Jumanji reference, everybody. So yes, it's raining. This is the iconic scene where the goons are trying to fuck with her. They're barking. They're literally barking at her. And Peter
kicks her ass.
It kicks their ass, but he had to get dressed so fast that he doesn't have his mask on. Thank God the lighting's terrible in that alley.
Oh, yeah, because she's like, oh my God, come here, and then he's like, wait. He puts his mask on.
Yeah, because she's like, wait, and he's gone, and then a second later he comes down and he has the mask on. And he says, you have a knack for getting into trouble. And she says, you have a knack for saving my life.
And then she rolls down that mask so precariously.
It is the iconic moment. It is nice of her.
So like
She
not
fully
just be
could
like
have just-
psych.
She fully could have unmasked him. So it is nice of her to just be like, no, I will respect your wishes. It's also probably because she's like, you know what? It's kind of hot for it to be like a mystery too.
It's
I
like,
don't
okay,
know who you
I
are.
didn't want to make this comparison, but I'm gonna make it anyways now. It's like when guys wear like pup hoods, I'm like, wow, you're kind of hot, and then they take them off, and I'm like, oh no, I gotta run.
Do you want to explain for the straight people out there what a pup hood is?
It's a thing
Because they
where
they genuinely think they're Batman masks, as we've seen in that video. Nice, I like your Batman mask.
What video did you see? Show me to me, Rachel. Show me to
I'll
me,
have to find it.
please.
It's just a video of some guy being like, "I like your Batman mask," and it's a guy in a pup mask.
It's a neoprene like mask that you put like over your head, and it looks like a dog, right? It's like a kink thing or whatever.
Like
Some people use it
like a Great Dane or like a
or just like different colors, fun colors. It's from
a Scooby Doo mask.
One could say. Some people explain it as like a way for them to like have a little bit more confidence because they can kind of like be another person, or like, you know, like it's almost like they can disappear, like their own personal insecurities kind of can disappear within like this persona. Not to be convinced with a furry, because they can be the same
with the furries, yeah.
because they can be the same, but they are very different at the same time. Like people can be pups but not furries, and people can be furries and not pups, and people can be both, and it's a whole
the
thing.
masks are not furry, they're smooth.
They're smooth and they are expensive.
So if anything, we should call them smoothies.
Oh, I want a smoothie now.
As opposed to furries. Yes.
Well, that's what
I don't know why we got into that, but anyways, so yes, it's the iconic kiss scene. Say what you will about like if people like, I don't really hear people hating on this movie a lot, although I did find a 1-star review. There were several on IMDb.
Interesting.
But I mean, this is like the most iconic movie kiss of all time.
Oh yeah, the upside down, wet in the rain through the mask, or like with the mask pulled down, kind of hot, I will say.
Yes. Like
there is something about that like mystery of like, I don't know who I'm kissing, but
incredible. I remember it was on the back of the DVD cover, probably for the VHS too. Like,
yeah,
it was iconic. A huge spoiler, but it was that iconic. It's like, okay, now I know they're gonna kiss. Damn.
And her like titties are showing through the rain because she has like a thin white t-shirt on.
It's a pink tank top. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Because I guess she didn't know it was gonna fucking pour rain.
People in New York just don't know what the weather's gonna be.
But that's New York, baby.
That's New York.
Yes. And when he like leaves and she's just there smiling in the rain, you know the meme, girl who is going to be okay. Do you know that meme?
No.
It's literally just this girl drinking, like sipping on like a coffee or tea or something, some smoothie. And she's just looking up, and the caption, it's just an Instagram story, and the caption is "girl who is going to be okay," and it's become this big meme. And someone even went and like recently like went to the location where it was and like recreated the photo.
Oh my God!
If anything is giving girl who is going to be okay, it's this moment where she is smiling up in the pouring rain, and she's like, "Yes, yes,
I got it! I got the kiss."
And then fire. We have a fire in the building, and random day. I don't know what day this is, but we have a woman saying, "My baby's in there. My baby's in there.
My baby.
Why is your baby in there?
Why would you not carry your baby?
Explain to me why you're out here on the fucking street, but your baby is not. You want to tell me that? You want to tell CPS that?
Wow.
Because why the fuck is your baby?
She said, "I saw the fire and I just had to run."
I guess so, unless the baby was home alone and started the fire.
She didn't start the fire.
So Spider-Man goes and saves the baby, and the cops
And then he
come
hears
up.
another person going, "Help, help."
No.
No?
First of all, yes, but first of all, the cops come up because there's like, I don't even know if there's like a warrant, but they like want to arrest him
During a fire?
during a fire. But he's like, no, I'm gonna go help this other person. But because they're like, oh my god, there's another person in there. It's a scream that is not human. Why would they? If I hear that scream, I'm running the other way because
I'm going, that's not real.
it is not a real scream. It's so fucking fake. So of course, when he gets up there, it's the Green Goblin in a little blanket. He's just swaddles
Is he pretending
himself
to
in
be
a
like an
little
old
blanket.
person?
That's what I thought. Was he was trying to be like an old lady,
Okay.
and then it's like, well, gotcha, bitch. And then this is where some of the dialogue does get bad, where Spider-Man says, "It's you who is out, Gobby, out of your mind."
Get out of your mind.
And then we have those little blade flying thingies where we get a little like kind of Matrix-y moment
where he
he's
gets touched and he
dodging
goes,
them. Yes, and then he does get cut on his arm, and we'll talk about that in a minute, because apparently this fire happened on Thanksgiving Day. Bad timing for that family and that baby, right?
Thanksgiving time.
Because Peter goes back to the apartment, and Norman and MJ and Aunt May, they're all getting the Thanksgiving dinner ready. And it's like, oh damn, this is all on the same day. Because Norman, who looks like he just fucking got literally, he got out of a fire. Yeah. Shows up and he says work was murder. And he meets MJ and he's really gross and like staring at her. Very weird. And then we have the iconic scene where Peter is on the ceiling as Spider-Man unmasked, and that drop of blood is about to fall onto Norman, but it hits the floor and he hears it.
But it's like the goopiest, like viscousy, like blood
ever.
Yeah,
it looks like paint.
It looks like, remember the scene from Power Rangers where Ivan Ooze is like throws his phlegm?
No.
And it's just like goop on the ground. It looks like that.
But he's able to somehow get out of there before Norman looks up on the ceiling. Don't know how. So Peter arrives through the front door with the cranberry sauce that he was supposed to bring. They say grace, and Norman gets ready to carve the turkey, and sees a cut on Peter's arm that Aunt May has pointed out. And he says, "How did you say you got that?" And Peter says, "Bike messenger knocked me down." And he says, "I gotta get the fuck out of here, guys." And he leaves.
He goes, "That's Spider-Man. I gotta go.
I gotta fucking go." And Harry's like, "This girl's important to me. Like, I did this so you could meet her and everything." And he's like, "Look at her. She's beautiful. You think she's
a slut?"
Yeah, basically she's only with you for the money and everything. And then he does not say anything back to Norman. And MJ says, "Thanks for sticking up for me, Harry."
Fucked up. I don't understand. My question in this situation is, it's a cut, right? Why didn't Spider-Man just like just put little sutures on it with his spider web, or just close it up with the spider web? Band-aid. Like, holy shit, some gauze.
He didn't have the time because he went straight from his room to downstairs to the
He
elevator.
has webbing, Sarah. He was the freaking Wicked Witch of the East, bro. Like,
Is it good to put sticky things on a cut?
I mean, probably not. I mean, people put super glue on cuts.
Ew.
There's
What if
that
his
medical
web is
glue.
infected?
That's fucked up.
It's gonna hurt his blood.
Whatever.
So now we have the Goblin Mask. Because now he knows who Spider-Man is. He's telling Norman how to take down Peter. He says, first we attack his heart. Meme alert, another meme. Aunt May
Where she's
praying.
praying.
Aunt May praying at home. Deliver us from explosion. And him saying, finish it, finish it. Yeah, so
How did
she's
he
in the
hear her
hospital.
praying? She's inside.
He was like hunched underneath the window.
He's like, fuck, wait, did she say it? Fuck, did she say it? Oh shit, she's saying it. And then he goes in.
Aunt May is yelling about those horrible yellow eyes, and Peter realizes that it's the Green Goblin and that he knows his identity.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next day, we're in the hospital. Mary Jane visits and says, Harry, I haven't talked to that bitch since what happened on Thanksgiving. And she says, besides, I'm kind of in love with this Spider-Man guy.
Besides,
What?
I'm falling in love with this man who I do not know what he looks like.
Who could be ugly as hell.
That's such a fucked up thing. That's the other thing about like the puphood mystery is like I said, rocking body, and then they take that hood off, and it's like, oh, I can see why you wear that. No offense.
No offense.
No offense.
Peter gives his speech about what he said to Spider-Man, because obviously he's his photographer. So he says, Spider-Man asked me what I thought of you. Because he's using this as his way to say his feelings. And he says that whole speech of when the thing about MJ is when you look in her eyes and she's looking back in yours, everything feels not quite normal. You get a tummy ache. You get diarrhea.
Your cock suddenly becomes 3 inches bigger for whatever reason.
He says because you feel stronger and weaker at the same time. You feel excited and terrified at the same time. He goes on, and he says, it's as if you have reached the unreachable and you weren't ready for it.
That's so poetic.
He says that whole thing. I will say, I know Big Bang Theory, we're all like, okay, annoying, blah, blah, blah. I do like the bit on the Big Bang Theory where Sheldon does this whole speech to Amy.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh my God, like, that's so beautiful. And he's like, yeah, like, it's the speech from Spider-Man.
Spider-Man?
He's like, oh, thanks. It's just the speech from Spider-Man. And Aunt May, this bitch is listening the whole fucking time. She said, ooh.
What a little eavesdropper.
And so now Mary Jane's like, well, fuck, now I think I'm in love with Peter. And
I can't be in love with Peter
hand.
and Spider-Man.
Yes. And Harry walks in as they're holding hands, and they take their hands apart, and they're like, hey. And then at the Osborn home, we have Harry hearing the goblin laugh.
Hey, I'm your dad.
Just like that. And then he tells Norman that Mary Jane's in love with Peter. And Peter's loved her since the 4th grade. So he's like, I don't really have a chance. And so this bitch
why is he like jealous?
Informed Norman of who to go after next. Because he's Harry fucking Osborn.
What an idiot.
And then we have the jump scare. I always know this moment is coming in the movie, but I can never remember exactly when. This moment of just the Green Goblin to the camera going, ah!
Oh, yeah.
It gets me every fucking time. And I jump and I go, oh God, why would they do this to me?
I was watching The Fall of the House of Usher. Finished it earlier today. And like, there's a part where like I think I was just maybe a little too high, but like I was watching it and I legitimately jumped and I was like, "What the fuck? Why did this get scary?" It's
Isn't
a
that supposed to
horror
be a
show.
scary show?
Yeah.
So Peter is asleep in the hospital and Aunt May wakes him up. She's like, "Yo, I'm awake."
him.
Yes,
I heard
and
what you said to that lovely girl, Mary Jane.
yes, she's like we remember you're in love with her. Remember when you said,
she
"Is
looked
that
like
an
an
angel?
angel.
Is that an angel?" Um and she says, "Would it be so dangerous to let Mary Jane know how much you care? Everybody else knows." And he says, "What the fuck did you just say?" And he grabs her by the collar. "What the fuck did you just say?"
He says, "Finish it! Finish it!"
Because he's like, "Oh shit, now the goblin's gonna go after her." And of course, he calls MJ to make sure she's okay, and you just hear the goblin laugh on the other line. I should make that my voicemail. Just a good goblin
No!
laughing.
Your mom would freak the fuck out instantly.
So then Mary Jane wakes up on. I can never really get. Is this the top of a bridge or a construction site or both?
It's, I think, a bridge. Well, because aren't there like weird like cable cars?
There's cable cars by the fray, and
I don't know
a
where the fuck this is. I'm gonna be real.
there's cars running like it's a bridge. Yeah. But she wakes up in her PJs. Poor girl. It's
Got
all cold
snatched
out
out of
there.
bed.
Yes. And
Oh
yeah,
wait, it's Thanksgiving. Shouldn't it be like snowing and shit?
the goblin starts attacking the cable car, and so this is that scene that Roger Ebert hates, where it's, do you save the cable car full of kids, or do you save Mary Jane? And those kids are going, "Help us, Spider-Man!"
Help us! Do you
And he
save
still
the
chooses Mary
kitties or do you
Jane.
save your girl?
He still picks Mary Jane. He said, "Fuck them kids."
He's a psych.
And then he tries to finagle it so he can save both of them. And
But
then
he misses and those kids go into the river.
they're still down there. No, so he's telling her to climb down the cable. He says, "MJ, you can do it." This is the first time he's saying her name, correct? How
Yes.
would he know her name?
Did he tell her? Did he tell him?
Not from what we've seen.
Give him, I don't know.
It's like, girl, he said your name. Like, who do you know that
Mary Jane Watson, who I've lived next to for years. Climb down.
says her address? Like, okay. And we do have there it is. We have the New Yorkers throwing shit at the Green Goblin.
Fucking shit up.
You mess with one of us, you mess with
You mess
all
with
of us.
all of us.
I believe that scene was added in because of 9/11.
Work.
Just saying. No, I think they were like, we wanted to show like New York uniting against something. And so they showed a bunch of New Yorkers throwing a bunch of trash and shit, being like, "Hey, fuck off, leave Spider-Man alone."
We just lost 2 towers.
I just do love the idea of like, let's just show New Yorkers like trying to beat the shit out of someone.
Honestly, kind of a sleigh.
Kind of a sleigh, and like New Yorkers will do that. They'll just like fuck people up. It's like,
That's how they caught the. That's how they
You're
caught
doing
the. What's his name? The Night Stalker. That neighborhood full of like Hispanic people just like beat his ass.
I believe it. And then we have, okay, so the cable car of kids and MJ are okay because they land on that boat. That boat that was
The
like,
garbage truck.
"We will go underneath you."
We'll catch you. Yeah.
And then Spidey is thrown into an abandoned building.
Where
Another
the fuck
one.
is this? It's by the river.
It's down by the river, and then we have the final fight of Goblin versus Spidey. Goblin's got his spiky thingy, his like 3-pronged thing that he's trying to shove in Spidey's face.
Yeah.
Peter's mask is like half gone because it was blown off from the pumpkin bomb.
Oh, this is when he gets like the things thrown at him. He goes. He's
And
all like
then
mad.
Norman unmasks because Spider-Man pulled down the wall on him and everything. All of a sudden, Norman's like, Peter, it's me.
Peter,
You
stop!
wouldn't hurt
Stop!
me. You wouldn't hurt little old me.
I'm a bit of a scientist myself.
I'm something of a scientist myself. Please stop. And while he's talking and pleading for his life, he's pressing the buttons to activate his glider quietly, like a hybrid car, like a Prius.
Anything under 5 miles.
And then he says, Godspeed, Spider-Man. And Peter's able to flip. And oh no, it hits Norman right in the groin.
He pierces his own cock.
Right into PP.
He got a PA.
Peter, don't tell Harry.
Why not?
And
tell Harry immediately. I would have dumped him in the literally at home, glider and suit intact.
Oh my god, that whole sequence in the second film at the end where where Harry finds everything. Incredible.
Like behind the painting.
Yes, when all the bombs light up and he's looking down the so good. Sam Raimi, you son of a bitch. And then we're at the Osborn home and Harry sees Spider-Man standing over Norman's body, which is like all cleaned up and nude, and he's like wrapped up in a blanket.
Which is why I'm like, why don't you just take him in as the Goblin? Like, Jesus Christ.
But how did he clean him up like that? Did he just like dunk him in the river?
He probably just dunked him in the river.
Okay. And Harry's like, what have you done? And then we're at the cemetery where Peter gives his condolences to Harry and he says, Spider-Man will pay. And Peter says, okay, see you later. LOL, yes, so true. Kill him. Why is MJ at this funeral? I think MJ's only there literally so she can hook up with Peter. Because she hated Norman. So why would she go to his fucking funeral?
Because if you get invited to a funeral, you kind of have to go.
Are funerals invitation?
Yes.
You can't just like show up?
I don't think so.
Well, MJ tells Peter, they're like at Uncle Ben's grave, and she says, I
think if it's like a public service, then yes. Sorry.
When I was up there in my PJs about to die, you know who I thought of? You. She says, Spider-Man. I'm horny for 2 men, and one of them is you, and I love you. And they kiss in front of Uncle Ben's grave. And it's like, okay.
Kind of odd, but okay. Odd choice.
Just making out in front of his grave is interesting. And he says, I will always be there for you. I will always be your friend. Only a friend, Peter Parker. That's all I have to give.
Yeah, always just a friend.
And him walking away. And as Peter is narrating, blah, 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 who am I? I'm Spider-Man. We see Mary Jane take a second, look shocked, touch her lips, and look back at Peter. Which is to say,
she realized that she has kissed those lips before.
Exactly. She said, hold the fucking phone.
Take us away.
I've only kissed one person with bad breath and chapped lips, and it was Peter Parker and Spider-Man. Play
the Q Taste by Sabrina Carpenter. Let's do it.
I believe in the original comics, Mary Jane. All the fucking comic experts are gonna come after me. But I feel like I remember that in the comics, Mary Jane finds out because she saw Spider-Man go into Peter's window, and so she put 2 and 2 together. And later he was like, He was like,
Either
how did you
she's
figure it out? And she's like, I'm not fucking dumb. Like, I fucking know.
she's like, either you're fucking Spider-Man or you're fucking Spider-Man.
So I do like that is kind of hinted at throughout this one, and in a lot of the second one, is that she's 99% sure that he's Spider-Man. Like, she knows. She can figure it out. Because if the voice didn't give him away,
His chapped lips and seaweed breath did.
yeah, then she's aware. So I do like that it gives this hint of. I love in the second one because she's marrying the J. Jonah Jameson's son, and she has him like do the upside down kiss with her. She's like, just put your head back, let me try something. And she does that kiss with him, and he's like, whoa, like that was incredible. He's like, I'm on the moon, like, because it's so incredible. And she just sits there like she's so fucking pissed. Like, she's like, fuck, that was
It's
like
not
not
him.
good.
It's not him.
Well, she's like, not only is like this not Spider-Man, but like I don't even enjoy kissing this man. She's like, well, shit.
Nothing is worse than when you kiss somebody and it's just they're not a good kisser. That's actually so sad. I think that's so sad. Like, you kind of have to be bad. It sucks if you're bad at kissing. That's sad.
But they say you can get better.
One would hope.
You're not gonna train them.
No, ew.
You're too busy.
I have a busy schedule.
But yeah, the whole point is, as he walks away and she's looking at him, it's like, okay, this bitch knows. She's
clocked
pretty
her T.
fucking sure, yeah. And he says, who am I? I'm Spider-Man. And then we see Spider-Man flying through the city. And then the last shot, it's like, okay, they probably put this in because of 9/11 too, with the American flag and then him zooming in as he jumps forward. It's like, okay, we get it, America. We get it. This was that era of patriotism.
Yeah. That makes sense. That makes sense why that's there.
But I'm gonna read you some IMDb reviews now.
IMDb.
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 IMDb. So there were over 2,000 reviews for this film on IMDb, of course. This first one is a 1-star review by Russell Redfield in January of 2022. It's titled, Tobey Maguire is a curse to the screen. He is a little weasel. As if he could date anyone, let alone Kirsten
I am Weasel.
Dunst. I am Weasel. What a joke. Who cast this stuff? Your friend's dad? Probably. I, for one, have had enough of Tobey. I say it is time all Tobey hater rise as one and destroy his honor. They changed the Spider-Man actor in the video game. Now I say we do the same to save Kirsten from this monster. What? You like Tobey, do ya? You a fan of weasels? Go watch the National Geographic Channel. I'm sure they got a doco on you, sad idiot.
What the hell?
Damn, okay. That is a funny coincidence, though, because yes, Kirsten Dunst and Tobey Maguire did date. I think by the time the movie came out, they were broken up. But so all
Wait a
of
minute. They changed the actor in the video. When was this posted?
2022.
They're talking about the new Spider-Man game where they changed the actor to look a little bit more like Tom Holland.
Well,
What
take it up with Russell Redfield. But it is interesting, a funny coincidence that for every Spider-Man and Mary Jane couple that we've had, they've all dated in real life.
That's cute.
But we have Zendaya and Tom Holland still going strong. So
They're
the other
cute,
ones
yeah.
are not together.
I like him. He's sweet and she's nice.
And then we have a 10-star review by Alex Hayes 07714, written in October 2020. It's titled Wholesome. Spidey boy knows what to do.
Didn't this come out in 2020? Oh, 2020?
2020. Spidey boy knows what to do. Sunglasses emoji. Noise. Pizza time in second movie. And that's the review. Um, and they're right. He does say pizza time in the second movie, and it is noise. We don't have any tweets because y'all are fake and didn't tweet us anything. So, what are our final thoughts on this film?
It's like, for the era that it belongs to, I love that it doesn't take itself too seriously, but it's also not like shit. You know what I mean? Like, it's it's such a good superhero movie because one, Tobey Maguire's a little homophobic to
And
Macho
that's
Man
what
Randy
makes a good
Savage.
movie.
That's what makes a good movie. Um, but no, but it's like, it's not trying to be like where a lot of superhero movies are trying to be like, let's break the fourth wall, like, oh, your suit looks stupid, like shit like that, like what the X-Men movies kind of did, and like with Marvel movies being like, I don't know, I'm just a silly Chris Hemsworth or whatever. Which one it is? Which
Chris
one is
Pratt.
he? Or the other one? Which one's Thor? Hemsworth?
Hemsworth, yeah.
Like it's not trying to be. It's taking itself seriously enough for it to be good, but it's not taking itself too seriously that it's like we're trying to be gritty and real, Like it's just like I'm Spider-Man. And I like that. I like that in a movie. It's like perfect. It's a perfect movie. It's a perfect 10 out of 10 for me.
Okay, well, we do out of 5, so 5 out of 5.
5 out of 10.
Yeah, I think I agree. Like, this era of like superhero movies that we had, like the X-Men's and like Fantastic Four, they were like fun and good, but like you didn't feel like you like had to have so much knowledge going in about like previous stuff because it wasn't like a universe yet.
I think the
And
X-Men movies,
it wasn't
yes, but
trying to take itself too seriously. Sorry, go on.
no, I was just gonna say I do like the X-Men movies. I just have to disagree at the fact that like I don't know. I'm not a big fan nowadays. In retrospect, watching it again, when people are like poking fun at like the comic book accuracy, so I was like when he's like, "What did you expect? Yellow spandex?" And it's like, well, no, but like you don't have to like
Oh, I
rip
don't
on
remember
that.
that. Well, I mean, that's because Joss Whedon wrote at least the first one. Is it the first one?
The X-Men
The whole
ones, yeah,
Storm
probably.
saying like, or no, second one is Alan Cumming, right?
Yeah, the first one is where Storm goes. What happens to a toad when it gets struck by lightning? The same thing
Same
that
thing.
happens to everything else.
Yeah, that's Joss Whedon,
Bitch.
and then that's why it's like that Avengers style that he did in the Avengers movie. It's like okay, but it like I do just think they like were solid movies. Like they were just good
Oh yeah, they weren't bad at all.
while also being fun, and like it didn't feel like it had to be like it wasn't like trying too hard. It was just like let's just make a fun superhero movie.
Exactly.
And I just love that. I think second one is like genuinely so fucking good. So like I can't give this one 5 just cuz I would give like the second one a 5, but I'm going to give this one a solid 4. I think so fucking good. So many memes came out of this movie. So we have to give it that credit. Willem Dafoe as Green Goblin, obviously incredible. And yeah, it's just one of those where FX has the movies, and if FX is playing it, I'll watch it. And
Mm-hmm.
and then like I'll rewatch this whole Sam Raimi trilogy just sometimes if when I see that the movies are available. I know now they're on like Disney, but like when they would pop up on streaming, they would pop up on like Hulu all the time, and I'd be like, I know what I'm doing tonight. I'm watching all these because these are just so fun, so good, such a silly fun time.
Yes.
And with that, let's give a shout out to the one, the only.
Iris is our podcast artist. You can check her out and her work and anything she's up to at Creamsicle Panda on Twitter and Instagram.com. I don't know what she's up to because I don't have social media, but I texted her the other day. and she's doing all right.
And if you want to follow us, we're at Planet Weird Pod on most things that are out there. If you want to support us on Patreon, that would be super cool. Even if it's just like a one-time thing for you, that's fine. We do shout outs for our patrons for $5 and up. So thank you to our patrons: Grace, Lindsay Britt, Enrique Buenrostro, Jose Contreras Jr., Emily Palmer, and Ivy
Goblin.
Green Goblin. Well, Goblin was like genuinely the original version, I think, of her name that we said.
Oh, really?
She's in my phone as Ivy Goblin.
Okay, so Ivy Green
Goblin. Green.
Green.
Specifying the green. Yes, and then merch links are in the description if you want to support us and buy some merch. Yeah, next time on the main feed, because we've done the spider, now we have to do the Mon. We're doing Pokemon 2000, the movie.
Woo!
Coming to the rescue. I will
And now
dive
the
deep
world
into
will turn to ash.
every song on that fucking soundtrack. You are the chosen one. We'll be talking about that movie, so I don't know where she's streaming, but if y'all watch it and send us your thoughts, do that. Go ahead and do that. On Patreon, we're talking about the Buzz on Maggie. If you want to go listen to those, sign up at the $10 or $15 tiers to hear us talk about that. And yes, thank you so much for tuning in. And we hope your Spider Montember is off to a great start. And everyone, go
kiss a spider.
Go kiss a spider, or try to learn about pup culture.
Or don't.
Before the next time we see you.
I think as gay people, we need to start gatekeeping everything.
All right. And with that, I've been Bonesaw.
And I'm Man Spider.
Sure. All right. We will catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Oh, the human spider.
Yes. Man Spider is a Smosh sketch.
Hmm.